It is time to talk about the Oregon Ducks as we continue here from Pac-12 Media Day, and it's great to have Dana Altman join us, the head coach of the Ducks, now up on the stage. Coach, welcome. Appreciate it. Give us a sense for how you feel about your team right now.
We've got a lot of work to do. A lot of new faces, 7 new scholarship athletes, 5 returners. Keeping those 5 returners healthy throughout the year is going to be important. All of them at one time were fighting injuries last year, so keeping Big Dante healthy and Jermaine, our 2 leading scorers back from a year ago, is important to us. Nate Biddle had a good spring and summer, so we need him healthy. But it's a good group. 7 new guys are all talented and seem to want to do what we want them to do, so looking forward to it.
It was impressive that you won 21 games last year based on all the injuries you had. I guess my question is, does it make you as a head coach rethink when you have that many injuries? Like, do we need to change our off-season program? Do we need to tweak it? Or is it just one of those things that we ran into a bunch of bad luck last year with injuries?
Well, we hope it's just one of those things. This is our 14th year starting at Oregon, and we never had a year like we did last year. Really, the last 2 years have kind of been, but last year was really problematic. But we have, as a staff, talked about it a bunch. What are we doing differently? Maybe we need to go to a little load management or something. I don't know, but
Get Kawhi on the phone.
Yeah, no, we haven't changed that much. I think our weightlifting conditioning program's really good. I think it was just one of those years that things kind of caught up with us. We've been fortunate in previous years, not to have injuries. And then this year it kind of caught up with us.
We'll have some more questions for you, Coach, but we'll go to some questions from the media here.
We're going to go on my left in the third row. It's Matt.
Matt Preem, 24/7 Sports. You touched on Dante and Jermaine. Just, you've always talked about getting old, staying old. Those are 2 fifth-year senior guys. Just their importance of coming back and the leadership they can provide for you guys.
Well, getting old and staying old is really important now. We're still in the COVID period. We got 1 more year of that where guys can get old. Stay 5 years. So Dante and Jermaine will be a big part of what we're trying to do. There are 2 leading scorers back from last year. Jermaine didn't play until January after knee surgery, but really finished the season strong for us. And Dante, he got 13 and 9 with every time he touched it, he got doubled. We didn't shoot it well from the perimeter a year ago, so everybody doubled him. And look at his numbers: 13 and 9, shooting 60%. Those are outstanding numbers considering you get double teamed every time you touch it. So Jermaine and Dante, if they stay healthy and can lead us, I like both their work ethics. They're both very coachable. I think both of those guys can set a tone for our team. And, I think both of them are going to have big years.
We're going to go on my right in the first row.
Mark Anderson, AP. What are your thoughts about this being the last season of the Pac-12, and are you interested in maintaining some rivalries with some of the West Coast schools?
Well, as a coach, I've been in the league the longest, and so it probably means a little bit more to me that the league is not going to be here. I've always really liked the league. I thought it was really competitive, even in years that people said our league was down. I don't think it was. So from my perspective, I'm disappointed. I'm excited at the same time because now we got new challenges ahead of us, and that keeps you going. But as far as your second part of your question, I'd love to play some schools. Yeah, I hope some schools want to play us. I've talked to Wayne. We're going to play Oregon State, once a year and keep that going. It's good for basketball in the state. It's good for our fans. So, Wayne and I have discussed it, and we want to play. So unless the higher-ups tell us we're not, we're going to play. But no, I'd sure love to play whatever schools. We're going to have enough travel during conference going to the East Coast. I'd love to stay on the West Coast and play some non-conference games. I haven't talked to Tommy, but I'd love to play Arizona, keep that going. Arizona State, Utah, Colorado. Like I said, we'd love to play. Again, non-conference wise, I'm not interested in traveling all over the country playing games non-conference now, because we're going to have enough travel in our conference schedule that non-conference, I'd like to keep it more regional.
Getting back to N'Faly Dante, Dana, and I think I said it at the end of last year. He had a better season than his numbers suggested because of what you said. Your guys' lack of perimeter shooting, a lot of that was due to injuries, but getting the double teams every night. I guess the first question is, did you address the shooting? Do you think the shooting's going to be better just with guys not being hurt this year and guys you brought in? And is that going to make Dante's production go up this year?
Well, I hope so. First of all, the returners, I mentioned that Jermaine missed half the season, and I think he's a better shooter than what he showed. Keyshawn missed 12 games with the plantar fasciitis, and I think he's a better shooter than what he's shown. And Brennan Rigsby is a better shooter. So I think the guys coming back are better than what they showed a year ago. And I'm giving them an excuse because they all missed a bunch of games, that with the consistency of being there in practice every day. And, you're a shooter, take 10 weeks or 10 games off, 8 weeks off, and you're not able to shoot the ball because of a knee injury or a foot injury. That takes away from your rhythm. So, and we did recruit some good shooters. We got Bam out of junior college, who's a 40% shooter, and Jesse can shoot it. I think we addressed it a little bit with our recruiting. But more so, I think the guys returning are going to shoot it better than they did a year ago.
Will Richardson finished his 9-year career at Oregon last year. I mean, it felt like he was there forever, but he provided and did so much for you. Who's going to kind of replace that leadership and that on-the-ball, lead guard that you've had for a long time?
Well, Will was with us for 5 years, and we won a couple conference championships, a tournament championship, a couple Sweet 16s, so he was a big part of our program. And I was a little disappointed our fans and some people got on him last year. He played through injuries. He fought it all year. I was really proud of the fact that, a lot of people told him to shut it down, and no, I'm going to finish. And, guys fighting through injuries, tough back and hip, and you're trying to play through it. Will was a big part of our team, big part of our program for a long time. And now Keyshawn's going to take over more of that role. We got a little freshman, Jackson Shelstuff, from same high school as Peyton Pritchard, that has been very impressive in early workouts here. So Jesse can handle a little bit. Jermaine can handle a little bit. I think we do have enough ball handlers to get the ball moving. They got to trust each other, move the ball a little better than we have in practice. But when they do that, I think we do have some capable shooters. And, the big thing about Dante also is we got to keep him on the floor defensively. Our numbers defensively, the analytics and the numbers defensively when he's on the floor are a lot better than when he's off.
Feels like you guys are going to be a little more athletic this year, faster. Is that true?
Well, we're going to have to play a little faster, simply because, some of our perimeter guys are smaller. And so I feel like we've got to play a little faster. Jackson, Keyshawn both give us a burst there that, we haven't had since Johnny Lloyd maybe. But, I like some of our quickness in the backcourt. So, yeah, I'd like to play a little quicker. And also, I think it'd help us utilize our depth a little bit. I think if we got the 12 scholarship athletes healthy, I think our depth is good. Mookie Cook's going to be out for a while. He had surgery on his ankle, and so he's going to be out till December, maybe early January. But the other 11 guys, if they're healthy, I think our depth is pretty good.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're going to go on our left to the third row.
PJ Carlosino, Pac-12 Network. Dana, two quick. If I see Peyton before you, going to make sure he jacks up his contributions to the club right now when I get together with him in Boston. And secondly, you've had incredible success over the years with transfers, even putting aside some of the ones that were already JC grads. How much different is it when you used to be able to normally have a guy for a year in the program, practice with you, and then bring him into the lineup, as opposed to what you have to deal with now for the most part?
Well, Coach, I think you know how different it is. Eugene Omarui was with us a year, and then he had a tremendous year, and now he's playing in the league. I liked it when guys were around the program for a year, and I knew what we were going to get, right away from them. So there's a lot of advantages for players, transferring and being able to play right away. But there was some advantage to sitting out a year, getting everything in order, and then being ready to play. So it's kind of mixed emotions there. But, the players have that freedom now to transfer right away and play right away. Sometimes it takes a while to get acclimated to that ball team and the changes in the way the coaches want you to play, and trying to give them some freedom, but yet, keep them with the group. But there were, when guys sat out a year, and we did that a lot at Creighton. We had a lot of 5-year guys that redshirted, and we had some guys that redshirted, early at Oregon. And I never thought it hurt them. I always thought academically and athletically it kind of gave them a different perspective. And so I never thought it was a bad thing. But right now it's a dirty word. If you say redshirt to anybody, they look at you. But there were some advantages to it, but we're past that now. It's a new day. I don't think there's any going back, and so guys are just going to have to make the transition a lot quicker and hopefully catch on a lot quicker.
Coach, could you give us a thought on Jermaine Couisnard and Fali Dante as we bring them up here before we say goodbye to you?
Well, neither one of them's as good looking as they think they are, but they really are good guys. Dante is, anytime you have a player that fights an ACL, is 6'11", 250, and has to come back from an ACL, you see the toughness, you see the grind they go through. As a coach, it makes you appreciate them that much more. But both guys have been really easy to work with, and Jermaine bounced back from a knee surgery last year and was a big part of our team in January, February, and then hurt his shoulder in March, but didn't get to play with us in the postseason. Neither guy did in the postseason when we were in the NIT. So, but I like these two guys, their maturity they bring to the ball club, the unselfishness they bring to the ball club. I hope will rub off on some of the new guys, some of the younger guys. And like I said, Dante's been with us a long time, and he's really been a big part of our program, and Jermaine's made an instant impact on us. And if those two guys have great years, then we'll have a lot of fun. So
good luck
Good
this year,
deal.
Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.